Preparing to go live. It looks like we're live. Just bear with me. Don't run away. Here we go. Preparing to go live. I can hear we're working. Okay, turn that off. Okay. All right. People are starting to rush in the front door. This is the place you need to be today if you live in Lower Paxton Township, anywhere in the Central Dauphin School District, and especially in the beloved village of Linglestown, the jewel at the foot of the Blue Mountains. This is where you need to be, because I am concerned, very, very concerned, that I don't want any of you, as we move forward in time and space, to get caught with your pants down like I did last night. And over the weekend, over the last week, numbers of times I got caught with my pants down on different issues. And I am here to serve you so that doesn't happen to you. I've already gotten some comments about alleged spindly legs. Check Facebook out later and you'll find out what I'm talking about. But this is Bill Bostic. I'm the longtime publisher of Linglestown Gazette, an online news service. We're sponsored by the folks right here. You can't see it very well. I don't know if I can get my breast up there. I can't. It cannot go close enough. This is Consolidated Insurance. I'm wearing their flagship shirt. Consolidated Insurance Services, 6109 Jonestown Road. And if you don't, I don't know if you realize it or not, but Jonestown formerly was Route 22. That was the main road, that two-lane road, back in the day. That was the main road. And then we got what's now Allentown Boulevard, Route 22. And then we got Route 81. There's 3 corridors there. And Consolidated Insurance Services happens to be on the old Jonestown Road, right behind the Carnes Food Plaza. Auto, Home, Life, and business insurances. That's where you need to go. David Jones, thank you for your support, again, wearing the shirt. Here's one thing. I mean, when I talk about getting caught with your pants down, right? And I see Richard Mazates is weighing in from Aruba. So thanks for joining. Hey, Becky Ryder-Craft, Tim McCarthy, always happy to see photos of your son. Karen Long, thank you for joining. July 1st, we've made it to July 1st, 2019, and July 1st kicks off property tax season. Sooner or later, if in my case for my home, my property taxes are paid out of my escrow account. But I have a second property, like a broken down old cabin out in western Cumberland County. I have to pay taxes, so I'll be getting a bill. Now, the good news is, when it comes to school taxes, no tax increase this year. The 2019-2020 school year, the fiscal year starts today, and there's no increase in property taxes. But I don't want you to get caught up and get your pants in a tizzy and have them fall down. We need to keep track of what's going on, because moving ahead into the next school year, the next round of budgeting, I don't know how they're going to avoid a tax hike next year at this time. So we need to monitor that, all right? The other thing that I think of this time of year, we're days away now, just really a matter of hours away from July 4th. Hi, Steph. Thanks for stopping by. July 4th, the holiday. And it's not just a day off. We're celebrating our nation's independence. Independence from Great Britain, right? I mean, those guys like Ben Franklin, others who signed the Declaration of Independence just 2 hours away east of here in Philadelphia, back over 200 years ago. I mean, they were real rebels. I mean, they didn't want to break free of Great Britain, but they weren't getting treated properly, and they said, heck with you, we're starting our own thing. They signed the Declaration of Independence. And then move forward in time, a constitution is written, and guess what? Those dudes were such rebels, were so distrustful of government in general based on their experience in Great Britain, that they wrote into the Constitution that we have freedom of press here in our nation. Freedom of press. And when it comes to our community, My plea is you're going to get caught with your pants down if we don't have a press. And we barely have one. What I'm doing is barely scratching the surface with the people that are helping out. The Paxton Herald does a little bit. The Patriot News, almost nothing. So we really don't have a press. And we're looking at a school district that's over $200 million to operate, 20 buildings to manage. I don't know how many. I lose track of over 1,000 employees, 13,000 students. We need a press to keep track of that as just one example. Now, one way I'm trying to help out, again, if you look at the Linglestown Gazette Facebook page, you're going to find, there's someone with their pants down, literally with their pants down. And that was used as an attention getter to say, hey, look, we're doing smart speaker broadcasts, these little, what they call shortcasts, tiny little podcasts. They're under two minutes or less. And what I'm attempting to do, this is my second or third try at this, because no one's listening. You can listen to it on a smart speaker like an Alexa, a Google Home, your phone, a desktop computer, a laptop computer, a tablet. It works in all of them. So anyways, I'm trying to get you to sort of get into a routine. And if you go to Amazon.com and you put in Linglestown Gazette, you'll find if you have an Alexa speaker, you can actually program, just enable this little thing, and you'll be able to listen to this thing by saying, I can't say it very loud because my thing will turn on here. Alexa, play my news. That's all you have to say. And just play my news, and you'll hear me and others that you sign up for. It started. Alexa, stop. Stop. Alexa, stop. Thank you. Again, we're brought to you by Consolidated Insurance Services. Let's see, anything else here? Oh, yeah, the next thing I wanted to talk about, Locust Lane. I won't talk about that. We're going to move into the Kane Mortgage Watchdog Report. Kane Mortgage, located just outside of Linglestown. Over 100 years of a combined experience working with people and their finances, helping them buy homes, refinance their mortgage, find retirement dollars. I know the crowd we're in here, a lot of us are a little bit older. Kane Mortgage might be able to help you increase the amount of revenue you have coming into your accounts. Believe it or not, a mortgage company can help you do that. And he'll explain it to you. If you don't understand it, fine, don't do it. But he may be able to help you out. Check it out, Kane Mortgage. I think what we're going to do, yes, we're going to start out with Lower Paxton Township news. The big news, of course, is July 3rd, this coming Wednesday, fireworks. Fireworks are happening. Tom Wolf, Crystal Bob, Wendy Hetrick, Mike Kraft, welcome one and all. The fireworks are happening at Coons Park. And, dare I say, the fireworks will probably be happening throughout our lovely township. And just as a reminder, the township fathers and mothers, fathers and mothers, we have one mother, one female supervisor. So it's got to be fathers and mothers. They adopted an ordinance recently which basically, it doesn't fully outlaw fireworks, but in most locales here in our township, it's not legal anymore to shoot off aerial fireworks. I'm not talking about the ones that, like sparklers and different things that are ground effects and maybe make some bangs and that kind of thing. We're talking about shooting them up into the air. That has pretty much been outlawed except in very few situations. And if you don't have in your grubby little hands right now, if you have not applied for and paid $75 for a permit, assuming that you met all the requirements for shooting up aerial fireworks, you're not legal at this point. There's a 30-day window to get a permit to do this, and they'll check it out, what you want to do, and if you'll comply, then you can do it. It's like you need 1 acre of land, I believe, to do it. I'm not an expert on all the rules, but most areas not available. So what's going to happen is there's this ordinance in place. What's going to happen when people start shooting off aerial fireworks on Wednesday night? I don't know. I don't think the police are going to be going out there looking for people. What will happen, odds are what's going to happen is it's going to be complaint driven. So if you have concerns about someone shooting off fireworks, bothering your sleep, making your dog go crazy, potentially putting your house at risk because the cinders come down and they're hot because they're shooting them off in a closely packed neighborhood, you have two options. Probably the first one to consider is to call the Lower Paxton Township non-emergency number. There's a number you can call the police, non-emergency. Just alert them to what's going on, give them the location where it's happening, and see what they do, if anything. The phone number is 717-657-5656. Again, 717-657-5656. Non-emergency number. Now, if you feel your property or someone's safety is being threatened by these fireworks, then I think it's perfectly okay to call 911. And I know people last year who called 911. By the way, I'm drinking St. Thomas Roasters coffee. I was there this morning. I took some time off of work, so I was able to go over there and solve some problems with George Kunkel and Carl Martin on the porch. St. Thomas Roasters, one of our sponsors. So that's the deal on the fireworks. I mean, I think it's going to be very hard to enforce. Very hard to enforce. And that one of the township supervisors, specifically Gary Chrisman, voted against the ordinance because he didn't think it was enforceable. So we'll see what happens. That's the story on that. Now, the township supervisors will be meeting on Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock, the Township Municipal Center. Okay? And that meeting starts at 7. You can watch it on Channel 21. Yeah, I know this crap. Channel 21 on Comcast. I'm not sure what channel it is on Verizon. It might be 20. I'm not sure. On the agenda, the town. I'll preface everything by saying the township is preparing to float a bond. In other words, borrow money from people who put money into these bonds and get paid interest. $11 million, and they're going to be spending that money on a variety of things. Last meeting, they spent approximately $3 million on 3 new fire trucks, one for each of our volunteer fire companies. Linglestown, Colonial Park, and Paxtonia each are getting a new fire engine. And it's either a fire engine, fire truck. I am not into all the lingo. This coming Tuesday or tomorrow night, they're going to be purchasing, leasing, I'm not sure which it is, a new police radio system, another very expensive proposition. I'm not sure what the dollar amount is. I'll monitor that. They're also going to be doing something with Blue Ridge Village. That's the former Blue Ridge Country Club. All right, that's being transformed into Blue Ridge Village. A sort of aging in place, mixed use, I'm using these weird words, mixed use residential development. So it's a little bit of commercial in the front, single family homes, townhomes, luxury apartments, a assisted living facility, all that kind of thing. Well, it's already been reported that a CVS pharmacy is going in there, and there's, I guess, a development plan that's going to be reviewed, most likely approved on Tuesday night. Now, the other one, maybe you don't know this. There's big happenings at Taco Bell on Jonestown Road. Just as you approach the Colonial Park Mall. That's what it is. I rarely go there. I've forgotten the name of it. As you approach Colonial Park Mall, there's a Taco Bell there, right? Well, there's a plan in front of the township supervisors. They want to demolish that Taco Bell and rebuild it. Like, is this the Alamo? Is this the Alamo all over again? I don't know. Taco Bell. But anyways, that plan's before them as well. Hey, you're wasting some time this morning watching Linglestown Gazette Morning Update with Bill Bostic, sponsored by Consolidated Insurance, and also CBC Cabinetry and Flooring, and also, good morning, Polly Murphy. Also, I don't know, she's commenting on Linglestown Gazette's photo. Also, the Fat Man Clothing Company, the Fat Man Clothing Company. If you want to see Anthony Cristillo's The Fat Man, his line of clothing online, you have to go to fatmanclothingcompany.com. Write it all out. Anthony, as we speak, is probably watching this. If he's still awake, he's lounging down in Ocean City, Maryland. He wants me to come down there. If I want to do a show with him now, I have to go to Ocean City, Maryland. So right now I'm looking for sponsors so that I can go down there and stay overnight and then talk to the fat man. Is that going to happen? I hope someone steps up. You know, this every time Anthony gets on this channel, the numbers of people watching just skyrockets. It's amazing. Public service time. Public service announcement. Let's see if I can. Yeah, here it is. Spirit Week. Today starts Spirit Week, and if you look on Linglestown Gazette's Facebook page, you'll see this little flyer for Chick-fil-A. Last week I said Chick-fil. No, it's Chick-fil-A. And if you go to the one on Lindell Road, that's out there as you're approaching Route 283, and there's I think it's a Marriott and the J.C. Penney and Target. That's where you go, and there's a Chick-fil-A there. If you go and you get breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Devon Manor Pool on Devonshire Road will get a contribution. So all you have to do is show them this flyer printed out, or show them the flyer that's on Linglestown Gazette's Facebook page. That's all you got to do, and you'll be helping the pool out. Now, Central Dauphin School District news. Let me get it here. Did you know that as of right now, Central Dauphin School District has three school bus contracts in play? They have one with Durham School Services. And they're going to be good. That contract's in the fifth and final year, starting this school year. And that, believe it or not, that company is based in the United Kingdom, and there's a subsidiary that operates the part of that company that provides services in the U.S. And so they were contracted 4 years ago. They're in their final year. They provide the primary number of bus routes. It's something like 100 or more routes. And there's been some problems along the way with them. I haven't fully done the reporting, so I'm not going to get into the problems, although I do know there was a problem with a snow day last year when it hit in the afternoon. Some kids did not get home on a timely basis. I know it was reported that a student was severely injured in an accident on an icy morning, and I think there's been some missed routes based on reliable sources that told me what's going on. So I'm not sure everyone's completely happy with Durham School Services. There's also Boyo Transportation Service. They run special routes like to pick up special needs kids and different things like that. I think they have a lot of vans that are involved. And then the new one is Klein, Klein Transportation, based in Berks County. They also have charter buses that they run, but they have a school division, and they're going to be picking up this school year something like 30 routes approximately. And the district signed an 8-year contract, is what I'm told. That's a long-term contract, an 8-year contract for them to start out with 30 bus routes. So, and what caught my eye is, I'm going to post it here later this week. Klein Transportation has a billboard on Route 22, Jonestown Road, close to Advanced Auto, as you're heading west towards Harrisburg. It's one of those digital signs that changes. They're looking for bus drivers, and I know one of the things they're talking about is they're offering a little bit better compensation package than I think at least Durham. So the part that's interesting, and I'll get off of this, is that we have 3 school bus contractors. I would imagine that Durham School Services and Klein Transportation are going to be competing, within our district, competing for school bus drivers. I mean, it sort of makes my head spin when I think about all that. 3 school bus drivers, one's offering better compensation and benefits than the other. Oh man, I don't know. What confusion! The other thing that I would strongly suggest you take a look at is that Dr. Norm Miller now is officially starting today our new superintendent. He had been the assistant superintendent sort of working out with the educational side of the district. And we have another assistant superintendent that deals with the administration, Karen McConnell. But the one thing that hasn't happened, and if I'm a citizen, I'm concerned and want to know, is that the school board has not announced publicly what they're doing with the superintendent's position. They've taken the step to move an assistant superintendent, Dr. Norm Miller, into an interim spot. Well, interim is temporary or trial, but are they going out on a nationwide search? What's the criteria for hiring a new superintendent? What do they want to see happen? Would it make sense to get some input from the public in terms of what we want to see in a superintendent? What our concerns are about our district? All this is in play. Nothing's been put out there in terms of what they're doing and whether the public will have any input. That would be a concern if I was a citizen. And by the way, I am a citizen. I guess I should be looking into that, or someone should be looking into that. This is Bill Bostic with Linglestown Gazette Morning Update. We're about ready to wind up here. The last thing on the school district is that Landis Field still is open. Hopefully it will stay open for public use whenever there's no sporting events. You can use the track, only the track. So the school district's looking at securing that a little bit better. Right now, the turnstile that you can use is open 24 hours a day, which sort of invites problems. Now, we were told at a meeting that students and kids and ne'er-do-wells will climb the fence and get in there and do trouble. But having an open turnstile sort of invites it, I think. So anyways, they're working on that, but the Landis Field is open. I had reported that it may be closed, potentially closed. It is not. It is open for use. And I do want to put the bug in your ear. One final thing I forgot to mention is that July 8th, mark it down in your calendars, that's the next school board meeting. The Central Dauphin Rams wrestling team will be talking to the board tentatively. I haven't seen the agenda yet, but they're supposed to be doing a report on a plan to build a wrestling training center at Central Dauphin High School, right beside the tennis courts. I think is where they want to do it. And I'm not fully sure that all the board members are on board with that. They're raising money to do that. I don't think it would come directly from tax dollars. Let's see. Also, want to check Linglestown Gazette's Facebook page. We do have an ad for Service Source, and they have positions at Fort Indian Town Gap for people who are disabled. They're a nonprofit that works with people who are disabled to give them employment opportunities. So check that out. The final note on sports is on July 10th. It's not this week, but the following week, July 10th, Linglestown Gazette Sports will be having a chat with the softball team, Central Dauphin Rams softball team, at Ted's Bar and Grill. And that chat's going to be sponsored by Capital Region Insurance Agency, Central Penn Fence and Deck Company, and Payor Apparel, along with the folks at Ted's Bar and Grill. So that's what's happening. Everyone's leaving. You have bigger and better things to do. What I'll probably do is try and break this, however long it is, this morning update, the Monday report up, and sort of parcel it out in pieces. Thanks for watching. Again, we're sponsored by Consolidated Insurance Services. Well, I'll be back on Wednesday if everything goes well with Crystal Bob from St. Thomas Roasters or someplace else. We'll see. Have a great Monday, and get ready for July 3rd, fireworks at Coons Park. Have a great Monday. Now, what do I do here? Stop.